What's up, guys? You know who it is, your boy JS7, and we back for round 7 of the Inside Line. Welcome back, Mr. Clinton Fowler, king of the calculator. He's back this weekend, so you know what time it is. We're going to get back in the schedule, get these things out, get the payouts, let you know what you're going to possibly win, can win, or whatnot's going to win. Who knows what we're going to win, because Jet Lawrence keeps winning. But we had the return of Chase Sexton last weekend at Red Butt. So if that's going to change the odds, we're going to find out. We're going to break it down. Will Eli Tomac come back? Hopefully, because Beast Mode has been missing. We had Justin Cooper show up on the podium. Will he return this weekend? I don't know. Or will it be the Lawrence brothers 1 and 2 again? Well, we're going to have to find out, and we're going to find out this weekend. So for round 7 of the Inside Line, let's do it, Mr. Fowler.
Alrighty, James. Let's talk about week 6 payouts. Our money market bet. Like, this is the sure thing now. Winner, shocking, 6-0, Jet Lawrence. It paid out, his original odds were 307. It paid out $26 on $20. Folks, you might as well just hand them money. I mean, you're only going to make $5. This week it gets even worse. I think you're only going to make $3. But yeah, Jet Lawrence, money market, almost a guarantee it seems like. He's 6-0. We can talk more in a little bit. Last week, event podium payout. Jet Lawrence wins for the podium. He paid out $20.83. Yeah, you're just, I don't know, if you want 83 cents, you get 83 cents.
Hey, anything in the plus, I guess, at this point. It's almost like you got to, if you bet Jet Lawrence, that means you're just paying to play. To bet.
It feels that way, James. It feels that way.
It's Jet Lawrence fee. That's what it is.
Yep. Hey, he's making everybody pay for any mistake they make out there, so I guess it's fitting. Hunter paid out halfway reasonably. He had a minus 163 original odds, paid out $32. But the one that's interesting, James, Justin Cooper last week, plus 300 odds, paid out $80 on a $20 bet. That was a solid race by him. That second moto was impressive. He led laps, second time he's led laps this year, so a pretty good race by him. That's really where the money was to be made last week in the odds, unless you like money market and just go with Jet Lawrence.
Hey, anything, if you can win, even if it's 83 cents versus Jet Lawrence, like, hey, it is what it is. So you keep it on there. It is not your money market. It is the Jet Lawrence fee, the fee to play. But this weekend, let's talk about the track real quick, because, you know, it is Chase Sexton. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about Eli Tomac. You remember a few years ago, 2022, those guys had one of their best battles of the year here at Millville. The track is fast. If it's hot, which it probably will be, it's gonna wear those guys down. Feel like as the day goes on, it's a mentally draining track, kind of like Southwick. You know, you go to those sand rollers lap after lap, and especially that second motor, you're just like, dude. And even going up Mount Martin, it's long. You got to actually, you know, work the body going up. Last time I was going up Mount Martin, a little extra pounds on little JS7. You know, it's happy birthday, son. It's my kid's birthday today, so that's the last time I was up there. So nonetheless, it was a lot of going on, but Millville, it is another good track. It is going to be a track that's going to be difficult on these guys. I feel like with the bike setups, you kind of can get away with it. You know, if you have a little bit of bike, maybe, you know, a little bit slower, Honda's going to work good. KTM's going to work good. So overall, I think this track will fit all motorcycles. Start dependent, just like every other race, but this weekend is really start dependent. So as I'm saying this, I'm thinking like, man, that money market Jet Lawrence fee is looking pretty good, because those Hondas got those boys. They got those things lined up. So nonetheless, you know what the track's going to be at Millville. But this weekend, Clinton, let's get into the event winner, because that's pretty much, give us some odds on that. We already kind of know where we're going.
Yeah, like you said, Jet, especially with that start and how good he's on the starts. The odds this week, the interesting part for the winner odds is it's the most aggressive favorite to Jet, and therefore there's the most money to be made in somebody else winning for the whole season. So they got pre-event winner odds for Jet Lawrence minus 636, paying out $23 on a $20 bet. Hence the fee to choose Jet Lawrence. But everybody else, including Hunter Lawrence, who's finished second last week, plus 492, paying out $118. Chase Sexton is a plus 787. You can take home $177 for Chase Sexton winning. I think you got to talk about that, Stu. Tomac is plus 1,600. That's going to pay out $340. Justin Cooper plus 3,300. is going to pay out nearly $700, and Aaron Plessinger a plus 3,600, paying out $750. That looks tasty, but I don't know. AP is clearly dealing with some stuff, but James, there's a lot of money to be made in somebody beating Jet Lawrence this week. Who do you think can do that?
Well, who do I think can do it? I mean, anybody can do it. Maybe, but they haven't done it. Yeah. I mean, the guy's led all but 50 laps in out of 185, and you would think that's a pretty good record, but I think we can go in some other ones, 8, you know what I mean? Ricky Carmichael. Jets wave off the pace on that. It ain't going to happen. But nonetheless, the kid's been getting better as the season going on. So when you say who can beat him, I mean, anybody can beat him. Jet Lawrence can beat Jet Lawrence. That's pretty much where we're at. But if I'm going to pick a guy, I like that 787 with Chase Sexton. I do not feel like that gap between where Jet is as far as in odds, negative into where plus, that's a lot closer. We saw what Chase was able to do that second moto last weekend, and he's trying to get back in. I say this weekend, his bike should be better. Open track, there's not a lot of stop and go, so I think that's going to help Chase, getting up to speed as much. Talking about bike and power-wise, I think that's going to help him. So Chase Sexton is the guy. Eli Tomac, what the disrespect. So, I would almost want to just throw it on Eli Tomac just because I think pressure's going to be off. Championship's pretty much out the door for him. With that DNF, that's pretty much thrown him out. So Eli can go out there and just race for diapers. He can go out there for a new baby need a new crib. Maybe that's going to relax beast mode, and he's going to come back because for sure it's either going to go one or two ways. Either he's going to start getting fifth and fourth, fifth, and all that every weekend, which I do not see Eli doing. I don't think he can, or he might go out there and just start racing for wins. And with Jet in his points lead, not having to worry about Eli, maybe Eli sneaks in there. So Eli Tomac with 1,600 odds, man, that is pretty good. But Chase Sexton, if you're asking me who can get it done, it is Chase Sexton against Jet Lawrence.
James, I think it's a good call out on Eli. He is to some degree with the points out of the championship at this point, so he could go for it. And dude, this is his 5th best venue, which might not sound particularly spectacular, but he swept 1-1 motos here 3 times in his career. 2014, you were there that day. Not a great day for you, but you were there that day, so maybe you remember. 2018 and 2022. So he's had some success here. So I think that's an interesting one. And man, the payout is pretty awesome, almost $350. But hey, let's move on. Let's talk about Podium. Last week's Podium, Jet, Hunter, Justin Cooper. The Podium odds heading into this weekend. Shocker. This is Jet Lawrence is in at a minus 3,200. It literally would pay you an incremental profit of 62 cents. 62 cents on $20. It's called the Jet Lawrence fee, as Stu has said. Yep. Hunter Lawrence is a minus 186, paying out $30 on a $20 bet. Sexton minus 122, paying out $36. Eli Tomac a positive 150, paying out $50. Plessinger a 233, paying out $66. Justin Cooper, who podiums last week, Stu, 257. He's behind all of them. He podiumed last week. That would pay out $71. So yet again, he looks like, based off of last week's results, where he goes 4-2 for third overall, it looks like that's a pretty dang good bet. And he was on it in that second moto, James.
Yeah, he was. And, I think Justin, I think he was a little disappointed on how he rode because, I think he felt like, he had an opportunity to win. Well, he did because he was out front. Jet went down, but he got stuck behind Jorge with the nice shoes, the Prada shoes for a little bit. We saw him out there. I'm going to call him Jorge because Jorge was there last week and not George. So he got stuck behind him. Then Jet came coming up. Justin got a little tired. So this weekend, if he gets out front, he might be a little bit better. I don't necessarily think this track's going to fit Justin as good as some of these other ones. And the reason I say that is because it is fast. There's certain tracks even with Southwick, you can ride your way around Southwick, where this one is a physical racetrack. There's no places to hide. The sand rollers, they're so long that you really can't, maneuver your way in. And we know how smooth Justin Cooper is, the Mount Martin. There's always time to be made up here at these racetracks, where certain tracks, even with Southwick, like you can't ride it super hard. You can't bulldog your way around it. Same thing last weekend. There's certain parts where here you can make time everywhere, whether it's going downhill, uphill. So I think with Justin Cooper, track might not favor him as much as the other ones, which brings in a guy like Chase Sexton, even beast mode if he comes back out. So there's no places to hide. Justin Cooper, always good, always sneaky for a podium. But with Chase, Hunter, Jet Lawrence, and Eli Tomac, man, that podium's getting really full. And if your track's not suiting you, it's going to be hard to get on there. So unless one of those guys have a bad moto, which even a bad moto to them is like a fifth or sixth, and they come back and win the second one, Justin Cooper's going to have a harder time. So that being said, you never know. You can always go with Mr. Cooper, but I would lean towards one of the other guys more than
that. Hey, that seems reasonable. I love that, a bad day or bad moto is fifth or sixth, Stu. Like, I would love that capability. I know you would have been disappointed with those, but hey, head-to-head, James. We didn't get to talk about this last week, but you got your first win in Southwick. I need to call that out. So you're 1-4. I lost that. I went with Eli in Southwick. I had my fingers crossed on Eli, man, at Southwick, but so I'm at 3-2. So you're catching. I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I had the Supercross hangover. That's what I was dealing with. Supercross championship. I had that, and that's what they say. So whether you win a Supercross title or not these days, I guess you hung over from Supercross hangover. So I had Supercross hangover. So that's why I had a bad start. Clicker said it changed.
Well, let's talk about the head-to-head odds here for Spring Creek for Millville, Minnesota. Starting with Hunter Lawrence versus Jet Lawrence. Shocking, they got Jet Lawrence as a favorite, minus 833, paying out $22 yet again the jet fee. Hunter Lawrence, they got it as a plus 464 in this head-to-head. You could make $112, not bad. Given Hunter has beaten him in one moto and in head-to-head in the 450s is probably not. There's a reason why Jet's the favorite in that head-to-head. Aaron Plessinger versus Justin Cooper. They're favoring, these guys are super close, but they're favoring Justin Cooper with a minus 122 or 126, paying out almost $36. Plessinger with minus 105, paying out $39. Cooper Webb versus Jason Anderson. Cooper's got a tiny advantage at a minus 116 versus Anderson at a minus 114, paying out $37 for Webb. Given Jason seems to be under the weather and still dealing with some lingering sickness stuff and didn't finish the second moto again in last week, man, Stu, Webb seems like that could be easy money. But the two that are interesting to me, Stu, RJ Hampshire versus Tony Caroli, minus 122 for RJ, minus 109 for Tony Caroli, $38 payout on Caroli, 36 on RJ. And then Chase Sexton versus Eli Tomac. You were just talking that these guys seem like they could be strong candidates for even a win here. So head-to-head's kind of interesting. Minus 173 for Chase Sexton, plus 129 for Tomac. I think they're doing some disrespect there, but a $45 payout for almost 46 for Tomac and a $32 payout nearly for Chase Sexton. What's interesting to you, Stu, here?
I mean, there's a couple of them. I didn't even know Tony was racing this weekend, so that's on me. So good. I got to have my boy back in the racing this weekend. So welcome back, Tony. That one, I'm leaning towards RJ. RJ's been around really good this year, so that's a good one. And then the first one, yeah, Lawrence is going to win. So there you go on that one. The Justin Cooper, Aaron Plessinger, I'm going to lean towards Justin Cooper. Aaron, we don't know how sick this is. The Jason Anderson versus Cooper Webb. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Where you been at? I don't know. Another health issue, so I'm leaning towards Cooper Webb. But the second one, well, the last one, where you got Chase Sexton versus Eli Tomac. I like Chase, and so does Vegas, but probably not for the reasons you think. I just think if those guys are not battling for the win and they're battling each other, I don't see Eli having I wouldn't say the will, because this isn't it's not a disrespect. I think Eli's here to win races, just like Chase Sexton. But I think Chase is out here for other reasons as well. I think he wants to get those points for the playoffs. So I see a little bit more fight in Chase, even if it's for second place, compared to Eli Tomac, or if it's second or third. So if those two are battling and it's not for the win, I'm just going to lean towards Chase Sexton, just strictly because of the fact that I think this year is, in Eli's mind, is somewhat, I would say it'd be a disappointment. I think he wanted to come out here, have a chance to win this outdoor title, which he still does. But at the last weekend, if he's not up there battling, I can see emotionally Eli not being in for third place. Like he's not all in for that. That being said, Chase Sexton is, because he's got other reasons out there besides just winning. So both those guys are going to be disappointed if they're not battling for a win. But I see emotionally Chase has the edge over those two. So I'm going with Chase Sexton over Eli for a head-to-head battle this weekend.
Yeah, Stu, the Sexton thing, I mean, I'm with you. I could see when you're that many points behind in the championship for a guy like Eli Tomac, it's got to be deflating after that second moto DNF, right? Dude, on the RJ one, I like your call, but a couple of interesting stats I can't just ignore. One, RJ got a podium in the first moto in Redbud, which is absolutely amazing. And just, it's kind of, I almost want to say he's been under the radar. But then here's the one that really sticks out for me. Tony Caroli is 39 years old. He's 39 years old, and he just top 10'd in a Pro Motocross moto at 39. He is one of three guys, top 10. He's one of three guys in the history of sport to top 10 at 39 years or older. And it's just amazing that he's showing up on a basically stock bike on that Ducati. Pretty darn good. James, aren't you right around that 39-year-old mark thing somewhere in there? Should we see you out there? Like, maybe you can come and get a top 10?
I'm not frozen. I'm just pissed. Why you gotta bring up that, bro? Like you said, I'm a little bit older than some of the guys racing. That's it. Just leave it at that. Why you gotta bring up? I mean, strictly, I was 32 for 5 years. Seriously, they were like, "How old are you?" I'm like 32. I can't remember. So yes, I am that, and yes, I mean I could show up on the Ducati and ride too. But man, look, you're talking about 9-time champion. There's got to be some age, 9-time champion, and he's over here. He's riding. He's having fun. He's bringing a new adventure to the world. Shows you how good the Ducati is. It's just stock. So I think, yeah, I'm with you. Like you wonder why would you throw up a 39-year-old versus RJ, but RJ up there too. You know what I mean? He in the 30s as well. And like you said, RJ had the podium. I just think Tony's here having fun. I'm still leaning towards RJ just because 2 motos, and RJ's he's just kind of like the Eli Tomac, Chase Sexton. I think RJ's a little bit in it for more points, where Tony's here like to make a splash, and he made a good one last weekend. So overall, 2 motos, I'm leaning towards RJ to get it done in the Sand Rollers. Do it for Day City. But it is really impressive to see Mr. Caroli 9-time out here doing his thing.
Yeah, so cool to see. Hey, James, I think we're going to wrap. I'll give the point. Hey, folks, make sure you go check out the odds at your local sportsbook, because they do change. As you make your bets, you influence the odds at the sportsbook. So make sure you go check, because the numbers are going to change between now and the race on Saturday. So, yeah, James, we're headed off to Millville. We're headed to Minnesota.
Purple rain. All right, people, that's it for round 7. You heard what Clinton just said. Hope you guys have some fun, bet fun, whatever you guys do. Enjoy the races, because it's there to be enjoyed. I'll see you next weekend. Round 8. That's it for the Inside Line. Peace. Purple rain, purple rain.